So we have a new beautiful menu screen with the portrait of Beatrice here, so that makes me excited for the next chapter. Let's start. Oh, episode 4, the last episode before the question arc, for the answer arcs. Good morning. Episode 4, Alliance of the Golden Witch. Good morning. I could never imagine that you would not be surrendered. That you would not have surrendered by now. At this point, even I must expect great things from you. The game is played not only on the board. Perhaps this time you should take a small peek beyond its borders. As they say, if you know your enemy, you need not fight 100 battles. The difficulty level depends upon you. No, you have chosen to battle up until now how you have chosen to battle up till now will influence the difficulty. I'm sorry. The cursive letters were a little bit difficult. Let's start. What I'm hoping for this chapter is I want Ava and Ange's backstory, and I want Beatrice character development. Oh, helicopter. October 4th, 1986. Oh, this is the flight. Oh man, this makes me so nostalgic already. No, don't go, Battler. No, don't go, Maria. In the lobby of the Nijima airport, Maria dashed around in excitement. Battler's uproar on the plane must have been hilarious.
こらマリア、いい加減にしなさい。ごめんねバトラ君、気を悪くしないでね。
情けねえ男だなお前は。でけえ図体して。
Oh man.
相変わらず乗り物はダメなのかよ。うるへえ。人間誰しも苦手なもんの一つや二つあるもんだぜ。
バトラ君、今度おばさんと一緒に海外旅行に行きましょうよ。
After episode 3, man.
ヨーロッパとか行かない？半日も飛行機に乗ってればきっと克服できるわよ。
Oh man. Ava killed Battler last episode.
母さんもよしなよ。バトラ君の乗り物嫌いはきっと遺伝だよ。
ああ、アスムさんの？
Ooh. Oh my god. They're pressing all the wrong buttons here.
あいつどういうわけか乗り物系がダメでな。自転車と車以外はほぼダメだったぜ。どこか遠出しようとすると、あれはダメだ、これはダメだ。怖い怖い、落ちる落ちる、ギャーギャーとうるせえ女だったさ。
Oh man.
子供は親が苦手があるものを危険だと学ぶものです。きっとバトラ君はアスムさんのそういうところを見て、乗り物は怖いものだと覚えてしまったんでしょうね。
I see the glint in Kirie's eyes right now. Oh my god.
アスムさんの遺伝子ってわけかしら。
さあな。だとしたら迷惑な遺伝子だな。アスムの話はよせ。今ここにいるのはお前だ。そうだろ。
そうね。ごめんなさい。
おい、ハイヤーが来たで。ちょうど3台や。乗るで、乗るで。
落ちる落ちる。パラシュートどこ、パラシュートどこ。
こんにゃらー。待て待て待ちやがれ。くすぐりの刑に称してやる。
元気でいいわ。バトラ君とマリアちゃんがいてくれなかったら機内の空気はさぞや硬かったでしょうね。
ありがとうよ。言葉通りの意味で受け取っとくぜ。ほらガキども、タクシー来てるぞ。お遊びは後にしろい。
Oh man.
タクシータクシー、マリア一番乗り。
こら
This is so nostalgic yet terrifying at the same time.
マリアもバトラ君ももうはしゃがない。人にぶつかるわよ。
The tone of Aunt Rosa's voice grew a little frightening. Man, I missed you, Rosa. I missed you. You died in the second twilight. That way. Ugh. When even Battler realized they were fooling around a bit too much, just as expected, he bumped into someone.
すみません。
バトラ君たちはあっちの車だよ。待たせちゃってるよ。
So George urged him to hurry on. Battler apologized to the person he bumped to and ran to his parents, who were telling him to come quickly. With a clunking sound, the door of the three taxis were shut after another, and they departed for the harbor. As their taxis dashed away, the entire world grew suddenly dull and slow to a halt. Melody instrumental version. Voices, the wind, and even sound. All of it stopped, and all the people who were trying to move froze like the instant someone takes a photo, coming to a halt. People and machines and clock hands, even the dust dancing in the wind were frozen. Some people who were walking froze with one leg still in the air. Scraps of paper dancing in the wind were pinned in midair, frozen in place. Is this one of the witches? Then amongst the shadows standing still in this unmoving world, a single one stirred. Oh. Ooh, is she seeing is she going to react to everything that happens? It was a girl. The girl that Battler had just bumped into. Ah, man, that's cruel. Though she had moved, it was truly a subtle thing. Her gaze dropped, her shoulders lowered a minuscule amount, and she sighed. That was all. In a normal world, that probably wouldn't even be taken as movement. But in this still world, it looked very out of place. Then something else moved. It was a black cat wandering around the shadows near the taxi rank. It came up right behind the girl. This is Bern Castell. And leisurely changed its form into that of a human. Yeah. Cats with Rika. Makes sense. This was no cat. It was a witch. Of course, this girl was also a witch. As the witch stood still, her gaze still downwards, she muttered.
みんなが六軒島へ行くのを私は止められないのね。
止められないわ。1986年10月4日にあなたはここにいない。
私がここにいたならみんなを止めることも不可能ではなかった。
Oh man, look at her sad face.
6歳の女の子がどう立ち回れば彼らを引き返させることができるのか、私には想像もつかないけれど、そうね。
Oh.
もしこの場にいたなら確率はゼロではなかった。
Speaking from experience, you tried to save your dad and mom, but it didn't work, right? If I remember correctly. Man, it's been years since I played her backstory chapter with Akasaka, I think it was. But still.
ゼロでない確率ならば、私は奇跡を探し出せる。
Yeah, you were that age in that chapter, weren't you?
私が体調を崩して置いていかれなければ。
With her facing downwards, the witch tightened her fists. They were trembling very slightly.
あなたが寝込んだのは1986年そしてベアとのゲーム版は10月4日から切り取られている。あなたには体調を崩さない可能性が与えられていない。つまりあなたは本来絶対にゲーム版に上がれない存在なのよ。
Man, that's cruel, actually.
恩着せがましくてありがとう。分かってるわ。こうしてお父さんやお母さんやお兄ちゃんの元気そうな姿を見られただけでも。
I mean, if you were 6 years old, would you remember anything at that age? It's kind of hard to remember anything from that age.
これはとても素敵な奇跡なんだって分かってるもの。
I know only a few memories from when I was 5, but they were very, very hard-hitting memories. Ange had tried to stand in the way of her family, attempting to stop them from leaving the airport and heading out towards Rokkenjima. However, it was impossible for her to exist in October 4th, 1986, so she couldn't do it. Even though her brother had only bumped into her and apologized. Even though he hadn't known that she was his sister, it had been such a miracle that she could cry.
嫌味を言ってごめんなさい。私は
Now continue
あなたにも
that.
らった奇跡を無駄になんかしないわ。
Continue with the sarcasm, please.
頼
I
もしい
need
わね。
it.
さあ、彼らと一緒に行きましょう。六軒島へ。
I mean, Rika is quite sarcastic herself, so you make a good pair.
駒たちがもうすぐすべて揃う。第4のゲームが幕を開けるわ。ベアともバトラも。もう席についてる頃よ。
Hmm.
六軒島へ。
So interrupted the finale of episode 3.
私の、いや、みんなの運命を変えた1986年10月4日の六軒島へ。
Ooh, what happened on that day? I'll expose it. I'll learn what it is, and I'll bring them back. As she stood there with her fists still clenched, she surely turned her face up to the heavens. A single teardrop from the depths of her eyes dropped down into the air. And when time started moving again, the two witches' figures were swallowed up by a blowing gale and erased in an instant. So Rika is trying to find a world where Battler returns from Rokkenjima, but doesn't seem likely. Oh, the opening. Is this still the same thing? Guess it is. I'm told the openings change from starting with the answer arcs. Oh man, this is the final question arc. Wow. Is this the final game, maybe? Could be. With Ange entering the fray, I guess. I see Ange. Yep. So they start. So the opening starts changing the answer arcs, which is good. I want to see what comes next. String chord. First in G major, l'allegro. I don't know how to say that. Oh man, this is happy.
おはようございます、お嬢様。これは上機嫌なご様子。快適なお目覚めのようですな。
快適な目覚めどころか、ワクワクして一睡もできなかったぞ。何しろ楽しい第4のゲームの幕開けだからな。
Smoke and curtains, huh? It seemed that she should have been excited that she hadn't gotten any sleep. Did she show absolutely no signs of lacking sleep because she was young? Because she had the mind of a little kid? Runaway chose not to say that out loud and left. Instead.
前回はバトラのやつを徹底的にケチョンケチョンにしてやった。
I think that she...
あのまんまと騙されたというバトラの顔、実にざまあなかったぞ。
Yeah.
それにしてもあやつもまだへこんでるのではあるまいな。
へこんでいると申しますと？
まあそのだな。
I think that
あやつめいい年してちょっと素直すぎるとことかあるだろ。
I think most of the character development there wasn't really faked.
ございますね。
She was playing around, but still I think that most of it was...
そこが魅力とも申しますが。
そうであろうそうであろう。まあそれでだ。前回のあれあやつめコロッと引っかかってくれたであろう。
コロッと豪快に。生まれてからただの一度も人に騙されたことのない無垢なバラのつぼみにも似た純粋さをお嬢様が存分に蹂躙。
Oh my god, those innuendos.
冬の朝、美しき新雪の平原を存分に駆け回って踏みにじり尽くす喜びにも代え難いでしょうな。
Oh my god, Runaway.
お嬢様はバトラ様の純粋な心を実に痛快に豪快に無残に無慈悲に無教養に実はちょっぴりやりすぎちゃったんじゃないかななんて不安になってしまうくらいに暴虐の限りを尽くされましたとも。
Oh my god.
普通ならへこむでしょうな。
I mean, episode 3 cultish-like ending was almost worse than the second episode with...
それはもう二度とお嬢様の顔も見たくないくらいに。
わかっておるではないか。わらわはそのだな。いよいよ第4のゲームが始まるというのに。
Yeah, I think Beatrice is enjoying this way too much.
もしもあやつが意気消沈していて卓につかないというようなことがあったらまた面倒だなぁと思い、そうならば先に対策を準備した方が良いかと思い、お前に先にそれを問うたわけだ。
でしたらやはり対策をご用意された方がよろしいでしょうな。残念ながらバトラ様はお嬢様の例の北風と太陽作戦でかなりショックをお受けになったようです。
Yeah, I guess the true enemy is going to be Lambda Delta from now on, I think.
ショックというとどのくらい？
Beatrice lowered her voice slightly, asking timidly. Runaway followed suit and lowered his voice in the same way.
実は膝を抱いてうずくまられてもうだいぶになります。
Okay, Battler, no.
何度かお声をおかけしたのですが、
Oh
お返事
god.
はされません。お食事もお運びしたのですが、手を触れた様子もありません。
それは難儀だな、あやつ。そこまでへこんでおったか。
無理もありますまい。何しろお嬢様が徹底的におやりになられましたからな。
Oh my god.
普通なら人間不信になりましょうね。
What?
おお、人間不信なら好都合。人間など見限って魔女を信じると良いぞ。
ああ、すまぬ。ふざけが過ぎた。
Beatrice had tried to joke about it, but the situation seemed to be quite serious, so that even she took the hint and hid her laughter.
そんなにも深刻なのか？
Oh my god.
第4のゲームの開始はもう少し待ってやった方が良いか？
ベルンカステル教のお客人もおいでになっておりますので。
Oh my god, yes.
第4のゲームは速やかに開始された方がよろしいでしょう。
I need Bern Castell and Ange screen time right now.
ただ、
More.
お嬢様はバトロ様に多少気を使われても良いかもしれませんな。
人などう使えばよいのか。あやつは落ち込んでいるのだから。
Monochrome clock.
そうだな。元気づけてやるとか。
What? Man, all these new tracks here.
心を暗く閉ざした者に暗く接しても無駄なこと。その暗闇に負けないほどの明るさで照らし出すほかないでしょう。
Oh my god, her face. Okay, the ship is growing stronger and stronger. I know.
しっかしょー、いい加減にしやがれ。
Oh my god, the music. Beelzebub.
あんたごときにロの上様が焼いてくれたクロワッサンなんてもったいないもん。
Yeah, this is
私が美味 gluttony. しく食べちゃおうかな。
I'm a bit sick today, so my voice is kind of weird. Even weirder than normal, so sorry. Battler's stomach involuntarily crawled at the fragrant smell of the croissant. His breakfast plate was empty, but Battler hadn't eaten any of it. Biggest glutton of the seven sisters of Purgatory, Beelzebub had waited for Renove to leave, and had then come to snatch the food away. Battler had noticed, and they've been really noisy ever since. So, Renove was lying. Even though Beelzebub only had to give it back immediately or else throw it in her mouth right away, she intentionally ran around in circles, making fun of Battler.
俺の朝飯返しやがれ。今返したらデコピン一発で許してやる。
Oh my god.
もしも食ったりしてみろ。
代わりにお前を食べてやるぞ。
Oh my god.
私を食べられるものなら食べてごらんなさいよ。きっとパンケーキの蜂蜜のように
Oh
甘
my
いから。
god. The innuendos. Oh. Oh my god. Battler.
捕まえた。今はてめえの太ももよりそのパンが食いてんだ。
Oh my god.
おとなしくそいつを返しやがれ。ふっかギギギギギギギ。こいつ最後まで抵抗を。
ダメよダメよ、あげないもん。クロワッサンも私に食べてほしいって思ってるもん。
Oh my god, the way they play with the...
イエーイ。よっ
Oh my god.
はよーバトレイ。
Oh my god. What is this? Slice of life nonsense that's happening.
こいつ朝っぱらからまだくよくよしてるのか。新しい一日とゲームの始まりであるぞ。元気出して行ってみよう。
Oh my god. I need a Beatrice plushie right now. She flung the door open like a marathon runner drawn to a certain caramel box. With her hands held high and an idiotic cheeriness, Beatrice appeared. For some reason, flags from all around the world and confetti scattered about, perfectly complementing this magnificent entrance. Battler and Beelzebub, who had been fighting over the croissant, completely forgot about their arguments, speechless.
おはようございます、ベアトリーチェ様。 それでは私はこれで。はい、バトラ君、して。
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
いやおはようベアト。
Runaway completely tricked her.
朝から絶好調なようで何よりだ。
Beato and Battler looked at each other. Team now they had a clue what was going on with the other.
バトラーどういうことだロノウェイ。元気そうじゃねえかよ。膝抱いてないし返事してるし、というか食事中だったし。
Okay. Runaway is a complete troll.
いえいえ、毛布の中で膝を抱くようにぐっすりお休みでございまして、お目覚めの時間をお知らせしたのですが、まるでお起きになられず、食事をしようにもいたずら猫が迷い込んでそれどころではなかったようで。
Naughty cat. Bern Castell. Oh my god.
よく言うぜ。てめえこそ前回はでっかく騙してくれやがったじゃねえか。事情はさっぱりだが朝からいい気味だぜ。とりあえずロノウェイ、朝からナイス。
Oh my
恐れ入り
god.
ますバトラーさん。
The two men stuck their thumbs as though they understood each other, chuckling together. Okay. For a while, Beato was very energetic, tried to hide her embarrassment. Oh man, look. Oregon short. This
俺をあ
one.
んまり舐めるんじゃねえ。まさか俺が膝を抱いてまだいじけてるとでも思ってたのかよ。
Okay, that phase was like episode 2. Time has passed. Characters developed. Now, Battler is strong.
前回あれだけ悔し涙を流しておったのはどこの
Then
誰だと
again,
いう。
maybe the Chester sisters were playing around that time as well.
あの涙をたっぷりと小瓶にでも集め化粧水にすればよかったわ。
Oh my god.
うるせえや。あれはそのてめえの下手くそな芝居の超展開に
I mean,
ちょいと驚かされちまっただけだ。
yeah, after analyzing, well, man, that death scene was so prolonged
みっともねえとこ見せちまったが二度と同じ手が通用すると
and
思う
so
なったんだ。
faked.
無論よ。同じ手に何度も引っかかってわらわを失望させるな。
And no. Yeah.
ああ見てろよ。
Mm.
俺はくじけるたびに強くなる男だってことを教えてやるぜ。
Are you Jonathan Joestar?
だがなベアト、
うん。なんだ。
二度とするな。
Oh. Oh, it's gonna be harder to get your redemption now.
ほう。なんでだ。
Yeah.
やはり絡めては苦手か。
Oh my god, the innuendos.
俺とお前は敵同士で絶対に手を取り合うことはないってことを俺はもうはっきりと理解した。だからもう二度とそれを勘違いさせるような不愉快な真似をするな。
そうは言うがな。そなたの弱点と知って。
Beato thought they were still joking around, but that tone had disappeared from Battler's expression some time ago. Beato felt as though his eyes were like the surface of black tea that had cooled down.
いいな。二度とするな。
Ooh. The avenue for redemption is closing. And that's very bad for Beatrice.
わからんぞ。忘れた頃にまたやるかもな。
二度とするな。
Pierced by his strong and forceful gaze, Beato held her tongue. Maybe she was certain that Battler would break that silence with laughter. However, Battler's serious expression didn't change in the slightest. So to break that silence, Beatrice had no choice but to start laughing herself.
それでよい。そなたとわらわは好敵手。どのような良好な関係になろうとも、敵同士であることの一線を越えることはない。そなたがそれを勘違いしなかったなら、わらわはそれで十分。
Oh my god, this next game is gonna be very difficult for Beatrice, isn't it? She now has to contend with Lambda Delta nagging at her side, I think. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
そうだな。お前が敵であることを一瞬だけ忘れかけた。二度と同じ醜態はさらさない。お前の絡め手にかかることは二度とない。
And now Battler is closing on her as well.
二度と。
Maybe. And now there's also Ange. I think. Oh, this is gonna be.
第4のゲームが待ちきれないのはどうやらわらわだけではなかったらしい。嬉しいぞバトラー。さあ席につけ。
ああ、望むところだぜ。もう小手先の騙しは効かねえぞ。
生きがるな。前回のゲームの最後の謎、南條殺しの謎も降参したままのくせに。
今はまだ答えを保留するさ。
Nanjo's murder. I still think that it could have been Shannon killing Nanjo and then disguising herself as Kianan to lead Jessica outside and then I don't know, kill her in the parlor.
だがな、
I think
くじけたわけじゃねえぞ。必ずお前の真っ赤な真実を破り。
The problem is that Shannon was declared dead, so that's not. I think that Shannon killed George as well. My theory.
良い心意気だ。やはりそなたは不死鳥のごとき男よ。わらわの見込みを裏切らぬ。
Been like a phoenix.
それでは第4のゲームの幕を開け。
That gives me hopes that Battler returns to Ange.
だがその前に我らは新しい客人を迎えなければならないようだ。
客人？
Man, if Battler doesn't survive, man, if Battler dies and stays dead, I'm gonna be
そなたも覚えておる？
I'm gonna be very sad.
前回のゲームの最後で招待状もなく現れ、余興を台無しにした謎の女よ。
あいつか。
わらわたちのゲームに加わりたいというのでな。
Does Battler not realize who she is?
正式に招待状を送り、この席へ招かせていただいた。ロノウェ、客人を呼べ。
Oh.
その必要はないわ。
Oh my
もういる
god.
わよ。
Her voice actress is so amazing. Someone said that Beato is Kihara from Kihara Lifeline from Railgun as well, so it's quite interesting. The voice that answered Beato's call came from the darkness in the corner of the room. I mean, it was a Kihara it was one of the earlier Kiharas that appeared, right? So the more interesting ones come later on in the series. When Battler turned around in surprise, he could not see that Mystery Girl was there.
おやおや、そなたも人が悪い。来ていたならば、挨拶の一つもすればよいもの。
I mean, Kihara Kagun, Kihara Nokan, and you have Kihara Yuitsu coming in New Testament, so
私、殴る前に挨拶する習慣ないの。
major antagonists that are still. Kihara Kagun and Nokan weren't really antagonists.
で
It's
も、
more
殴り終わ
Yuitsu.
ってからならしてあげるわ。
Ooh. Oh man. I'm going on a tangent here.
Good night. Have a nice dream.
Oh my god. Is she gonna... Is she gonna speak English like that?
笑える。実に笑える。
Okay, okay. I'm really liking... I'm really liking Ange. Oh, I'm sorry. Beato cackled and clapped her hands, but that was only Beato, and nothing rose to Battler's face except a bitter smile.
あんた武闘派だな。
Bitter smile, so he knows, I think. Battler and the girl's eyes met, and he shrugged his shoulder as he spoke. The girl didn't answer, giving only a cold stare in return.
前回は土壇場で世話になったな。礼を言うぜ。
礼なんていらない。あなたがぶったるんでただけよ。
Oh my
私
god.
は目を覚ませと言っただけ。
そうだな。バトラはぶったるんでるな。
Beato tried to act as though sympathizing with her, but it didn't reach the girl's ears. She did absolutely nothing except stare at Battler with ice-cold eyes.
どうやら俺は嫌われてるみてえだな。
I don't think it's hate. It's more
あな
like...
たが本気で戦ってないからイラついてるだけよ。
Oh my god, her... Oh my god, her design is so good.
俺が本気じゃないだと。
まさかあの低たらくが本気だったとでも？バカにしないで。いつまでこんな魔女の茶番に付き合ってるつもりなの？
俺は俺なりにベアトと戦ってる。もちろん本気でだ。
本気で？笑わせないで。魔女といつまでも永遠にお茶を飲んで談笑しているだけのあなたが本気で戦っている？冗談は髪型だけにして。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
そりゃ俺も最初は
Oh,
この魔女のゲーム
Bern.
に不慣れで散々な目に遭わされてきたさ。だがな、ようやく戦い方やそのコツが見えてきたところだ。俺のこれまでの無様さがあんたには本気でないように見えたのなら、それは誤りだぜ。
そう？
確かに俺がベアとの胸ぐらをつかみ上げるのに必要な距離はまだかなりあるだろうと思う。しかしその距離はどれほど長大であろうとも有限だ。そして俺はゲームを重ねるごとに一歩一歩確実にその距離を詰めている。時間はかかろうともあの魔女を追い詰め必ずチェックメイトする。それには奴がよく口にするように1000年をかけるかもしれねえ。だがそれでもいつか必ず打ち勝つ。なぜか俺が絶対に負けを認めないからだ。絶対に立ち止まらない。追い詰め続ける。
That's not what she wants.
だからつまり
She wants you to do it right
言える
now.
ことはただ一つ。俺はいつか必ずあの魔女に勝つ
She
って
doesn't
こ
want
とだ。
someday. She wants now. That's the
気の
problem.
長い話ね。あなた勝つ気あるの？有限もその扱いを間違えれば無限と化す。今のあなたはすでに亀すら追い越せないアキレスなのよ。
Oh.
なるほどね。私が必要なわけだわ。こんなざまじゃ何億年をかけようとも無限の魔女に勝てるわけがない。
お前は何者なんだ。
Come on, Battler, realize.
名前くらい聞かせてくれたってバチは当たらねえだろ。
Oh, that look. At that point, the girl fell silent, gazing straight into Battler's eyes. At first, Battler faltered on the firmness of that look, and his gaze wavered slightly. But then his eyes gradually began to be sucked into the pupils that were staring at him. Then, inside those eyes, he saw a light that he'd seen some time before. Battler was struck by how strongly they resembled the eyes of the girl who definitely couldn't be here. Even though that was completely impossible.
そんなバカなとは思うんだが、なぜかそんな気がするんだ。でもそんなことあるわけがない。まだあいつは6歳のはずだ。お前まさかエンジェなのか。
Okay, he realizes it.
そうだ。と言ったら あなたは信じるの？
Come on, Battler.
言い方を変えるわ。私はあなたの味方よ。だから信用して。あなたは信じるの？初対面の正体不明の女が自分の知人になんとなく似ているからという理由だけで、あなたは無条件に信用してしまうの？
Oh man.
そんなお人よしだから、前回のゲームであっさり騙されて、悔し涙をボロボロこぼすことになるのよ。あなた、自分で言ったわ。その子は6歳なんでしょ？私が6歳に見える？にもかかわらず、私がその子だと自称したなら、それを鵜呑みにするの？
それを言われると弱えな。すまん。そうだな。俺はお人よしだ。そいつを前回のゲームで思い知らされたはずなのにな。お前が言う俺が本気じゃないってのもそういう意味か？
そうよ。あなたは魔女と戦っているつもりでしょうけど、ただ慣れ合って遊んでいるだけ。チェスで仲良く戦って遊んでいるだけなのよ。あなたたちにとってそれは真剣勝負でしょうけれど、それを離れて見ている私には、仲良くルールに守られて、ただ遊んでいるようにしか見えない。
She's speaking the truth here.
きついな。
でも
And that's the
そのお
truth.
遊びに勝てない限り、あなたはここから解放されない。
I guess he doesn't want. He's wavering between not wanting to win because he enjoys this new reality that he's in.
だから私が来たのよ。このゲームに決着をつけるためにね。
That's a problem.
今のあなたは魔女を追い詰めていると称しながら、車輪の中を延々と走り続けるハムスターみたいなもの。
あれか。夜な夜なくるくると車輪の中を走り続けるあれか。
車輪の中を走り続けることは一見、無限の魔女ベアトリーチェ、まるであなたのことね。そして、その車輪の中で戦ってるつもりで滑稽にいつまでも走り続けているのが彼。これはゲームじゃない。彼を永遠に閉じ込めているだけのカゴでしかない。
ほう。
Mm.
わらわの無限をネズミが遊ぶ車輪風情に呼ばわるか。面白い面白い。
Yep.
ある次元における無限は、より高次元において無限をなさないものよ。メンガーのスポンジが無限の表面積を持つのは3次元未満の世界での話。3次元の現実においては質量ゼロ。無限どころか存在さえできない。
Oh my god.
威勢のいい女よ。
Yes. I like Ange a
わ
lot.
らわの敵を名乗る程度の資格はあるらしい。
あんた何者なんだ？
Come on, Battler. You already said it.
私はあなたの味方、そして魔女の敵よ。もちろん、信じなくていい。私が本当にあなたの味方であるかなんて、誰にも証明できない。むしろ、私のことをうさんくさいと思うくらいの警戒心の方が望ましいわ。
そうだな。前回ひでえ目に遭わされたんだ。そのくらいの用心深さは必要だな。俺もう二度と騙されるのはごめんだぜ。
Beato laughed in a truly pleased way, which was humiliating only to Battler.
人はいきなり騙されたりはしない。自らの確認を怠り、それを他人に委ねた時、騙される。他の人が渡り始めたから、もう信号は青になったと思った。じゃあ、事故の言い訳にはならないってこと、わかる？
ああ、わかるぜ。与えられた情報を鵜呑みにするんじゃなく、自分の頭で考えろってことだろ。俺はベアトに見せられた魔法を鵜呑みにしていた。
This is casting doubt on the red truths.
考えることをやめていた。だからダメだったんだ。
Battler grimaced as he remembered his many painful losses. The witch watched and laughed again, putting on a bold appearance.
私はあなたが有利になるように助言する。もちろん、あなたは私のそれを鵜呑みにすべきではない。私が味方であることの絶対の保証なんて誰にもできないのだから。
The last game, Virgilia, who I thought was an ally, was actually on the witch's side. Battler couldn't rid his head of that eerie smile worn by Virgilia, a person he once thought of as a trustworthy and reliable.
だから私を無条件で信用なんてしなくていい。故に私の助言も参考意見程度に留めてもらって大いに結構。だって魔女とのゲームを戦っているプレイヤーはあなたなんだから。
Oh my god.
そうだな。外野の指し手に従って打ったから負けたなんて情けねえ言い訳だもんな。
そうとも。わらわの相手はバトラよ。そなたなど外野に過ぎぬわ。それをわきまえているとは良いことだ。
いいえ、外野じゃないわ。ベアトリーチェと後ろ宮バトラー、そしてそれを俯瞰する私がまるで三角形のような形になって戦うのよ。一見これは共闘ではないけれど、一緒に戦うばかりが共闘ではない。
ほう、珍妙なことを言い出す。
さっき彼は戦うことをあなたとの距離を詰めると表現した。でも一つの目では距離は測れない。二つの目があって初めて物事は立体的に見え、その距離も測れる。そして二つの視点があっても同じ場所からでは意味がない。離れている方が魔女を正確に測ることができる。
異なる立場から異なる角度で打つ。
Oh man, this fourth game is gonna be very, very, very interesting.
十字砲火ってことだな。
Oh man.
面白いぜ。
異なる立場から
Oh man, I hope
異なる角度で打つ。
Ava Beatrice makes a return as well.
だから私は誰とも慣れ合わない。自分の立ち位置をずらし、魔女を挟み撃ちにするために。
いいのか、バトラー。その女は実はわらわが差し向けた伏兵かもしれぬぞ。
I mean, it could be actually, but
もっともらしいことを言ってそなたを信用させようとしているだけか
but
も
the
しれ
fact
ぬ。
that Beatrice is saying this outright, then it means
かもな。
that's
こいつはさっき
counter.
からそれをずっと重ねていっている。だからこいつの助言はもちろん鵜呑みになんかできないだろうさ。だがそれが信用に値するものか否か、俺は自ら考えて取捨することができる。俺が自ら考えることをやめない限り、俺はもう誰にも騙されない。
大した自信だぞ、後ろ宮バトラー。そこまで言い切ったそなたをコロリとまた騙してみたいぞ。そして再び騙されたことを知った時のそなたがどんな顔を浮かべるのか、わらわは見てみたい。気に入った。
なあ、あんたは俺の名を知ってるようだが、俺はあんたの名を知らない。名前を聞かせてくれ。
For a while, the girl remained silent without changing her expression even once. She looked as though she couldn't decide on whether to say her name or not, or possibly as though she was deciding on the name she'd say on the spot.
グレーテル。
Oh.
グレテル？お前がか？
バカね。名前よ。私のことはグレーテルと呼んで。
Is that
じゃあ
from...
俺はヘンゼルとでも名乗った方がいいか？冗談さ。俺は後ろ宮バトラ。バトラと呼んでくれ。
よろしく。
That's a reference to...
握手は嫌い。気を悪くしないでね。
Oh, man.
そうだな。悪い。お前が味方と決まったわけじゃないしな。警戒心を持てって言われたばかりなのにな。
Butler drew back his right hand, which he had struck out. His bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a strong resolve directed at this new fourth game.
バトラ、あなたはどうして魔女に勝たなければならないのか、よく考えて。気に入らないからやっつけるなんて抽象的なものではダメ。絶対に魔女を打ち倒してこの世界から抜け出すという強い信念を持って。あなたの帰りを待っている人が必ずいるから、その子のためにも。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah, this is so good. Maybe there was something she wanted to say. Gretel clenched her fists in front of her chest and hung her head in silence, at a loss for words for a short while. As though smashing through that silence, Beatrice spoke to a forceful voice. Oh.
よし。これにてグレーテルとやらの自己紹介も十分であろう。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。10月4日に何があったの
Beatrice definitely knows who she is. And I think Butler does know as well. At the same time, as though it had been blown by the sudden gust of wind, the clock that had been turned back to October 4th, 1986, started to move. While we remained in the witch's tea room, the blue-gray sea and the green Rokinjima spread out beneath us, and we could see a boat heading there, its wake trailing behind it. The sky was already cloudy and seemed to bury between. The barrier of the typhoon soon shut the island away. There was a boat docked in the harbor, and Goethe helping to unload it. Then, once all of the passengers had disembarked, the boat began to separate from the shoreline. The rattles were gradually swallowed up by the island.
マリアは相変わらず元気だな。
マリアちゃん、気をつけないと転ぶよ。
Oh my god. Is Angie going to react to all this?
気をつけて。
The long-missed cousins I had loved dashed across the beach, getting swallowed up by the forest path that led to the mansion and disappeared. And of course, Oneechan could be seen amongst them too.
くっそー、待て待てマリア、こんなすばしっこいやつ。
Maria-oneechan, whom I loved, started dashing, and Oneechan chased after her. Oh man, we were swallowed up by the forest. I'm feeling so sad. Following them, father and mother were also swallowed up. The rest of the parents were swallowed up. They were swallowed up, leaving only me behind.
バカ。いつまでこんなところで魔女と戯れて遊んでいるのよ。早く帰ってきてよ。お兄ちゃん、私を一人ぼっちにしないで。そして気がついて、残された私がどれだけ辛く寂しい世界で孤独を強いられるかを。
Ange's future. Saint Lucia! Fuck no. Oh no. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, please kill me right now.
ごきげんよう。
Oh no. Ah, this is so bad.
ごきげんよう。
Imagine. Oh my god. The same school that made why why good day to use the standard gokigenyo is the standard greeting used here. No matter how many years pass by, this style of greeting still feels very awkward. First it was what even though I'd respond to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling, the classmate who has spoken looked at me blankly.
え？何何？違うわよね。
Their choice of words and manner was certainly what you expect from a school for rich girls. The actual meaning was as innocent and cruel as you'd expect from kids of that age. It seems they found it funny that I mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. No, it might be the opposite. Wait, I need to pause for a second. Sorry, I had to close a window. Maybe they didn't know how to react after being suddenly greeted by a gloomy, quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates who were looking this way over their shoulders and whispering to each other, it looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. Is there a story about a chandelier falling in the records or something? Please tell me. Please tell me there's a story of a chandelier and 2 students dying in the history of Saint Lucia. Please. I was dark because I was disliked. So trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning anymore, I stooped even lower and entered the classroom. Almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theater while the movie was still running. This is an all-dorm school, Saint Lucia Academy. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girls' school, known of only by a select group of celebrities from various fields. So the same school that Shion and Satoko and Rika went to. For lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints, this is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it's probably also convenient for nobles who want to confine daughters they didn't want out in public. As well as an academy isolated from the impurities of the common world, it also held excellent potential as a prison school. I was truly among the latter, and was confined in St. Lucia's academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you couldn't tell us apart at a glance. However, even if we never fessed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads with an expression on our faces as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had 1 or 2 kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed that I was one of those kids, at some point everyone in my class knew about it. Just like how the seriousness of an injury became a sign of status in a hospital room, how noble of a birth one had become a sign of status here. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged in public were probably nothing more than filth to the others. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. And a rumor sprang up about a particular student. Those fastidious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this, all by myself. Well, that's only hearing people's whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having everyone pretend like they didn't know anything. Can be called a quiet school life. Oh, I'm getting angry! I'm getting very angry! Even this early in the morning, I must look worn out. I can almost understand why my other classmates who had a refreshing morning look at my face and want to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' mornings, I quietly took my seat. Then usually someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader.
ごきげんよう、白宮さん。朝からご機嫌斜めなご様子ね。ちゃんと睡眠は取られてる？
Oh man.
何かご用ですか？
Okay, just punch everyone in the face.
学年発表会のアンケート、まだ提出してないの。昨日までが提出日だったの。お忘れ？
I'm pretty sure I heard something about that last week. but I thought that the questionnaire hadn't passed out yet. The details would be written there, so there shouldn't be any need to remember them beforehand.
アンケート用紙もらってないですけど。
そんなはずありませんよ。寮長から全員にちゃんと配布されてるはずです。なくしてしまったならそうと素直におっしゃればいいのに。
Just
なくしました。今すぐ書きますから。用紙をいただけますか？
again. Either someone lost my sheet, or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I had no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly. I hate this.
書いたらご自身で生徒会室のアンケートポストに投函されるように。
This is triggering me more than...
うちのクラスだけですよ。夕べまでに全員のが揃わなかったのは。
As I hung my head at the class leader's scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching, coming from no direction in particular. Shiramiya-san did it again. She's just so careless. She doesn't deserve to be in this school. She has no dignity and no manners either. Sorry girls, but I've dealt with much worse when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. When I learned that father, mother, Maria-oneechan, and all the rest of my family had died, I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Shiramiya Eva, only Aunt Eva. Even at the time, I hadn't really liked Aunt Eva. At a glance, she would act kindly, but as young as I was, I could see that she was somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I hadn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Eva would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. It wouldn't have mattered if that gentle Uncle Hideyoshi and George Onichan had been with me. But I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Eva. I'd frankly said that to Grandpa, hoping to live together in his house. However, Aunt Eva had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. Oh, what is happening here? She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor, I was essential if the Shiramiya family was to continue. Aunt Eva felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take charge of me right away, so that she could give me an education and lifestyle befitting for a successor. And instead, she was raised like shit. After that, it seemed that confusing negotiations with lawyers took place. But in the end, I was forced to go live with Aunt Eva. After doing this, Aunt Eva told me something. You must spare all the glory and history of the Shiramiya family. And in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to frantic studying. Sacrifice the rest of your life for the Shiramiya family. That's what she said. First I thought she meant that literally, but I quickly realized that wasn't the case. Because even now in Aunt Eva's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Onichan. At our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questioning about table manners, and was forced to listen to her abuse mom and dad. As though they've been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding my manners at my first party. And my clumsiness had been disparaged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to mom and dad as well. After that repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand. Aunt Eva didn't really want to make me her successor. She thought George Onichan was the only one truly suited to be her successor, and she couldn't forgive the fact that it was to be me instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me. And she made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Onichan and to both acquaintances and strangers. Surely in place of a memorial service for her dead son. Or rather, she must still be mourning his death. Oh. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Eva. was kept like a pet, my life continued compared with her dead sons. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school. I tried to escape the Yoshimiya house and run off to the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. However, Aunt Eva had already foreseen that. No, thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by guards and brought back. And for being a coward who had smeared the Yoshimiya family crest with mud and tried to throw it away, in a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just remembering it, I was punished. How should I describe what Aunt Eva was like when she punished me? In a frenzy? Gleeful? I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, as well as the hatred and pain for me stealing the inheritance from the son who should have received it. And the dark pleasure at being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all those negative emotions at once. Eva, are you even worse than your father at raising people? Then all my free time and freedom was stolen. I was put in the surveillance around the clock. I may have lived in a gorgeous mansion dressed in expensive clothes. My heart and my dignity had been trampled upon. I was forced into the Yoshimiya family's slave, its cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. After preparing almost all of the fields of the questionnaire with nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket, because if I let in my desk, it might disappear again. And then they're going to criticize you for during lunch break, after dropping it off at the post box in the study council room. I finished lunch by myself as usual and headed behind the school building, where no one could be seen. Only my time by myself could protect me from this derisive laughter and gossip. Man, I'm not someone who can handle this for long. Since I was hated and didn't have a single friend, my time alone was the most kind to me. I have quite a short temper, so after checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then I let out a sigh. It faltered heavy, as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. My old favorite place behind the vegetable garden and storehouse had been found out by my classmates, and I've been teased. So this was my new lunchtime hideaway. There was nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crouched near the wall, in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag and took out a book with an elaborate, old-fashioned binding. Just glancing at it, you probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages. But this wasn't a book. It was a diary. Of course, it wasn't my diary. There weren't any special things worth writing about in my daily life. Every single day was just gray, cold, and dry. In those completely unchanging days, there aren't any changes worth writing down. This was the diary of Maria-oneechan, a girl I've been very close to. She'd been a bit strange and 3 years older than me, but Oneechan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She was always grabbing me by the hand and let me join in on some fun game. I remember that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made very skillfully, considered that this was an elementary schooler, were packed close together, though they were written on every other line. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a little bit. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Probably not. To her, writing her daily life down in a diary was probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Maria-oneechan's diary was written like a letter to another part of herself, telling of the events of that day. I found this diary amongst her belongings after her death and secretly took it home. At first, I'd felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish, and satisfied myself with only keeping it by my side. But I couldn't help flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit. And by now, she had become my only friend. Oh man. I gently opened the page with the bookmark.
Maria-oneechan, お待たせ。
Oh man, Oh, Ange. Oh my god.
またお姉ちゃんのお話を聞かせて。
Apathy. At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, trickling the paper. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Maria-oneechan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. Oh my god! Oh my god, Ange. On the pages of the open diary, no, in the world of the diary, Maria-oneechan showed herself. Oh my... I'm pretty sure she was 9 when she died. Oh my god, this is so sad. So her form was already younger than me. But I call her Oneechan, so she affectionately calls me Ange.
おう、エンジ、今日は来るのが遅かった。お昼混んでた？
うん、いつも混んでるわ。仲良しグループたちが席を陣取ってる上に、食事を終えた後も席を塞ぎ続けてるから、食堂に行くのが遅くなると致命的ね。今日は片付けの当番だったから。
マリア、ご飯食べるの早い。早く食べ終わるとその分いっぱい遊べるな。
Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge, because that duty had been forced upon me, and shortened my lunch break bit by a bit. Maria-oneechan brightly changed the subject. Grateful for that act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Maria calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. I read it about in her diary, though I heard it from Maria-oneechan. She was ranked number 1 amongst the girls in the speeding rankings for her grade's newspaper. She was apparently very proud of that, but a little disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it.
じゃあ今日のお話を始めるね。
Man, Ange's completely broken. Oh my
昨
god.
日はどこまでお話をしたかな？
ここまでよ。
I guess she is a witch. I see.
マリアお姉ちゃんがサクタロをプレゼントしてもらったところまで、サクタロの話を聞かせてくれる約束になってたわ。
Sakutaro.
サクタロのこと話すよ。サクタロはね、とっても可愛いぬいぐるみなの。
So she gives names to it. Her.
うん。そのお話を聞かせて、マリアお姉ちゃんにお話を聞かせてもらえる昼休みだけが学校で一番心を許せる時間だもの。
マリア話す。サクタロはね、
When I looked at Maria-oneechan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. As I listened to her tale, I began to get absorbed into her worlds. Oh man.
Happy birthday, Maria.
Oh my god.
ごめんね、帰りが遅くなって。
Is this what I think it is? Maria backstory as well? Oh my god.
ママもお仕事お疲れ様。
Oh my god. Look at her clothes.
マリア、ママが忙しいの知ってるから遅くなっても泣かないで待ってた。
Oh.
おとなしくテレビ見て待ってた。
うん。マリアは偉いわね。お行儀よく待ってたご褒美に今日は何でも好きなものを注文していいわよ。もちろん食べきれる分だけだけどね。
今日はコーンスープをオニオングラタンスープに変えてもいい？
ええ、いいわよ。
Oh. So they eat outside because
200円高くなるけどプロシュートピッツァに変えてもいい？
ええ、いいわよ。本当に食べられるならね。でもいっか、誕生日だしね。ちゃんとお行儀よく待ってたいい子のマリアにご褒美もないとね。
Rosa's a single mom, so. But maybe not. This is Maria's birthday, actually, so.
じゃあデザートにエンチェラードチーズケーキもつけていい？あとねシェフの気まぐれフルーツサラダにキッズフライドポテト、メロンソーダも飲みたい。マリアはいい子、マリアはいい子、ママに褒められた。
ちょっとはしゃぎすぎよ。もう少し静かにしないと他のお客さんに迷惑よ。
Rosa gently admonished her. Maria stuck her tongue out and eased up a little. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat out with her mother after such a long time. Okay, so this today was Maria's birthday. Rosa always tried to let Maria spend her birthdays at great restaurants. When Maria had been in kindergarten, they sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood all over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making it a huge celebration. When they moved out, but when they moved and Maria no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. However, today they were in a normal family restaurant. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with her parents. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic place that would surely have pleased Maria. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written on it. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her business and had been forced to cancel. Since that plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight.
マリアお姉ちゃんってあんまり食べないんじゃなかった？こんなに頼んで大丈夫なの？
あんまり食べられないけどいっぱい並
Oh
ぶのが
my
好き
god,
な
what
の。
is this? Oh my god, this is messing with my brain. So we have the current game with after Ange jumped. Then you have Ange before in the St. Lucia. And now we have a flashback.
お
What
誕
is
生日の
happening?
テーブルはね、
Flashback within a flashback? Is that it?
赤、青、緑に黄色、いっぱい色とりどりだと
No, wait,
幸
it's
せ
a
になれ
flash
るの。
forward within a it's a flashback within a flash forward. Oh my god.
そうね。お誕生日のテーブルってカラフルだと幸せな気持ちになれるわね。うちの誕生日はマ
Man,
リ
I
アお姉ちゃ
did
んの
not
ところには
expect
だいぶ負けるけど、
Maria's backstory.
駅前のケーキ屋さんで買ってくるケーキがいつもとても華やかだったっけ。
Angie thought back to her own birthday nostalgically. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday. He sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party, and then went right back to his company. At that time I was sad, now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. In particular, her birthday presents were always excellent in taste. and she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. Oh. Even though we always sent an invitation to Maria-oneechan, he didn't get along with that or something, so he kept not coming. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties, when the whole four-person family gathered, made for fun memories that I'll never forget.
おー、エンジェのお誕生日もとても楽しそうだね。バトラとルドルフおじさんがすごく賑やか。ワイワイキャッキャ。あ、バトラジュースかけられてる。
Maria-oneechan peeked into my happy memory as I sat quietly, wearing the origami helmets that Dad had made for fun. I was a little embarrassed. In my hand was a paper gun that Maria-oneechan had folded for me, and Mama was taking a commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life. Oh man.
で
Oh.
もマリアお姉ちゃんの誕生日だって負けてないよ。それで今日もらえるんでしょ、サク太郎は。
うん、すっごく楽しみだった。ママのカバンの脇にあるプレゼントの包みを早く見せてもらえないかなとずっとワクワクしてた。
Sakutaro is the name of a stuffed animal that Maria was to receive that day. It was quite some time before then. Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Maria as a present today. Oh. Hearing that it was a cute lion stuffed animal, Maria-oneechan had already given it the name Sakutaro, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today she was looking forward to receiving Sakutaro even more than her own birthday. Aunt Rosa ran a clothing design company. It seemed to be some kind of brand name. What was it? Auntie Rosa. What was it? Auntie Rosa? It seemed that their catchphrase was, "I can't forgive the me of yesterday." Unfortunately, I never met someone who knew that brand name. It wasn't that famous. So Aunt Rosa was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities.
手作りのぬいぐるみなんて
Man, sewing is hard.
ところでサク太郎って名前どういう意味でつけたの？
うん、本当はさくらってつけたかった。でもオスライオンのぬいぐるみだから男の子の名前にしなさいって言われたの。だから男の子っぽく太郎を加えてさく太郎。最後の「う」はいつの間にかなくなっちゃった。
なんでさくらなの？
Oh my god. Angie's so happy with Maria. Oh my god. This is
テレビアニメの主
so...
人公の名前。
I feel so sad. Cadmaster... Oh. Isn't Card Capture Soccer or something? It was the name of a main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. Card Capture... I don't know. The fact that she simply borrowed the name of a character she liked was, how should I say it, as innocent and cute as you expect from someone that age.
ママサク太郎まだ。サク太郎も一緒にお誕生日混ぜてあげたい。
プレゼントはいつも最後でしょ。今広げると汚しちゃうわよ。食事が終わるまで我慢しなさい。
じゃあ早く食事を終わらす。
As soon as she proclaimed this, she started tearing into her meal. Aunt Rosa got mad at her, saying that was rude. Oh, no. Are we going to see Aunt Rosa abusing her again? Oh no. It seemed that she'd expect this will happen right away. I also thought that given how straightforward Maria was, that was probably what she'd do. So it was kind of pleasant when my expectations were betrayed. In the end, Aunt Rosa lost her daughter's eyes, which was sparkling with anticipation, cleaned up the table and took out the long-awaited wrapped present.
ハッピーバースデーマリア。なかなか時間が取れなくてあまり上手に作れなかったんだけど。
ママの手作りなら
Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Maria-oneechan was happy even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand that feeling. It's not a problem of quality, just the fact that it was handmade present was more pleasing than anything.
開けてもいい？開けてもいい？
本当はお家に帰ってからにしてほしいんだけど、ちょっとだけよ。ちょっと見て挨拶したら一度しまうのよ。ちゃんと挨拶するのはお家に帰ってからにするのよ。ここはお外なんだからはしゃいじゃダメよ。約束できる？
約束するする。だから開けてもいい？開けてもいい？ママ。
Oh man.
はいはい。ちょっとだけよ。
Oh my god, I can't believe that this Rosa is the one that hits her in the earlier episodes. Before Rosa finished talking, Maria started unwrapping it. Maybe it's because Ange is actually reading her diary. Maybe it's a bit embellished. Oh, it reminds me. Oh, as soon as she did, yellow and orange peeked out. This reminds me of what's the name? Con from Bleach, doesn't it? It's very similar to Con from Bleach, isn't it? What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion stuffed animal with cute round eyes and a white chest. It was about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone short as Maria-oneechan, but it probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know better, it probably looked like something cheap bought from a department store or something. But to Maria-oneechan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world and irreplaceable. Oh my god, this is so nice. Why? Why? Oh man.
お仕事で忙しいのにこんなに可愛いぬいぐるみを作ってくれて本当にありがとう。
そんなに褒められるとかえって恥ずかしいわ。全然時間が取れなくて大したものを作れなかったの。本当は抱えきれないくらい大きなのを作るつもりだったのにね。
これでいい。このくらいの大きさならいつも一緒にいられるもん。一緒にお出かけできるもん。サクタロー、お姉ちゃんだよ。フリュー。
本当に可愛らしいぬいぐるみね。この子がマリアお姉ちゃんの一番のお友達のサクタロウなのね。
Oh, my heart.
学校には一緒に行けないけど、お家ではいつも一緒にいる一番のお友達なの。サクタロウはね、とっても無垢で可愛らしくて、そしていつもマリアに優しくしてくれるの。マリアに元気がない時には励ましてくれて、マリアが元気な時は一緒にいっぱい遊んでくれるの。だからマリアはもう寂しくなんかない。ママが仕事で忙しくて一人ぼっちでも寂しくないし、学校で誰も遊んでくれなくても全然寂しくないの。ねえ、サクタロウ、フリュー。
At school, Maria-oneechan had lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other kids in her class, Maria-oneechan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar, and a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. Her grades were low as well, and since she was always talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty, she was treated like a weirdo by everyone else in class. Oh, if you were touched by Maria-oneechan, you'd be cursed. Stuff like that. Apparently everyone in her class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her, and avoided her. If a boy bumped into Maria-oneechan, he'd start rubbing that part against the other boys as if he'd gotten some scum on him. They picked up her stuff like it was something filthy and chased the other boys around with it. It seems the girls thought even speaking to her was unpleasant, so they ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake.
いじめっていつの時代も似たようなものなのね。人間ってほんと進化しないの。滅べばいいのに。
マリアはいじめられて悲しいけど、でも仕方ないと思うの。
仕方ない？どうして？
だってクラスには一人いじめられっ子がいないといけないってルールなんだもん。
最低なルールね。それを作ったやつの後頭部をレンガで殴ってやりたいわ。もちろん角で。
もしもマリアがいなくなったら、きっとマリアの代わりに新しい誰かが新しいいじめられっ子に選ばれる。マリアが我慢することで、マリアはその子をかばってあげられるの。
So that's how she justifies it. As she said that, she smiled faintly. Maria-onechan's way of thinking really is unusual. Not at all. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in a place called school. Now she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. The witch tries to steal the students' souls through death by disease or other accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down a path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue.
天使様はね、魔女をやっつけようとした。でも魔女は強大で、戦いは7日7番に及んだんだけど、それでも決着しなかった。疲れ切った魔女は休戦しようと言ってこう提案したの。
前に聞いたわ。私はこれまでクラスの生徒の半分を病気にしたり怪我をさせたりしてきました。でもその代わりに残りの半分の生徒は病気と怪我から守ってきました。だからもしもクラスの一人を私への生贄にいじめられっ子にしてくれるなら、その他全員の生徒を病気や怪我から守りましょう。だったっけ？
Oh man.
天使様は考えたの。
That's not a good way of thinking at all.
クラスの半分が不幸になることに比べたら、クラスの一人だけが不幸になることの方がずっといい。それに魔女はその強力な力で他全員の生徒の安全を守ってくれるという。
クラスに40人の生徒がいるとして、20人の犠牲者が1人に減って19人が助かるというわけね。実に合理的な提案。
Wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Maria-oneechan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive. It's like sacrifice the little for the majority.
天使様
That's
は
not a good
その
way of
提案を
thinking at
飲むこ
all.
とにした。だから一人の生贄によって19人は救われた。だからマリアの役割は大切なの。魔女は19人を守ってる。
私たちが生贄になることによってその19人に感謝された覚えはないけれど。
Maria-onechan's idea was too compassionate. Nah, it's too self-justifying your suffering just so you don't become sad. Aww. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune. And yet, maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are. She tricks herself into thinking that her way of her life is happy, but it isn't.
それでマリアお姉ちゃんは悲しくないの？
I guess Ange is more of a realist in that sense.
悲しくなんかないよ。だってこれからはサクタロが一緒だもんね。サクタロ。うりゅう、マリアと一緒なら僕も元気。
Oh my god. Just he's speaking.
ほら、サクタロも元気って言ってるよ。
Maria-oneechan hugged the Sakutaro stuffed animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. Oh, is that Oh, I don't understand it. That's exactly why I want to reach Maria-oneechan's level. So she's speaking for the animal, stuffed animal. So I was intensely drawn to her tale and her words.
エンジェは一人ぼっちだから辛い？
辛いわ。でも、マリアお姉ちゃんとこうしていられる時間だけは別。一人ぼっちじゃないから。なら、
サクタラもお友達になればもっと楽しくなるよ。うん。じゃあ今日からサクタロもエンジェの新しいお友達だよ。ね、サクタロ。フリュー？僕、エンジェのお友達？フリュー、エンジェ
Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a puppet, Maria-oneechan expressed Sakutaro's emotion. Also, it's like ventriloquism. She was controlling him, but the charming way he waved his short hand and caught his head to the side made it feel like he really was a new friend called Sakutaro. Of course, looking at it with cold eyes, it only appeared that Maria-oneechan was comforting me when I was grumpy. But a soul had definitely been sent into that stuffed animal, a soul of Maria-oneechan's love. So I acknowledged the existence of a being called Sakutaro inside that stuffed animal.
ほら、エンジェもサクタロに挨拶して。ほら、サクタロもご挨拶。フリュー？エンジェ、怖い人？
Sakutaro timidly looked at me, unexpectedly met my gaze, and hid behind Maria-oneechan's back in surprise. Maria-oneechan really is good at playing with stuffed animals.
大丈夫だよ、サクタロ。エンジェは怖くないよ。とっても優しい女の子だよ。うん。どうも、サクタロウです。ウリュウ。
はじめまして、サクタロウ、エンジェよ。新しいお友達になれて嬉しいわ。
I held out my hand as though asking for a handshake. And Sakutaro's short hand was stuck out towards me, lightly touching my index finger. After all, when a human and stuffed animal shake hands, their sizes are too different. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake.
これでもうエンジェとサクタロはお友達だよ。一人よりは二人、二人よりは三人の方がもっと楽しいよ。うん。うりゅー。
Maria-oneechan had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was to receive on her birthday. It had warmed and expanded his existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was sublimated into a personality. Even at the first moment they met, they were already friends. Of course, that wasn't anything extraordinary in Maria-oneechan's eyes. Although I don't think she personified and loved anything quite as much as Sakutaro. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Maybe Aunt Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time. So she felt like treasuring objects instead. And maybe she was so isolated that she'd been forced to find a friend nearby. Because of all that, what happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Sakutaro, no, maybe I should call it Sakutaro, like Maria-oneechan. There's no doubt that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. No, a friend whom she loved more than anything or anyone.
もしもし、ママよ。上機嫌ね。お友達が来てるの？
うん。サクタロと遊んでるの。サクタロったらね。
It was already about 9 at night. Rosa had asked because this wasn't a good time to have a friend over, and she'd been just a little surprised. When she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she'd have so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much.
ごめんね。ママ、どうしても仕事が片付かなくて。 来期のラインナップが難航してるの。ようやく少しずつ注目され始めたみたいで、なんとかここで期待に応えられるインパクトを与えたいのよ。
今夜もお泊まり？いいよ。頑張ってママ。
そうありがとうねマリア。ママのお仕事のことを分かってくれてありがとう。
Oh. Rosa was surprised that Maria had accepted so easily that she wouldn't be able to come home from work. To Rosa, having to tell Maria that she'd become late to her staying overnight was a huge burden. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it in such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakutaro? Rosa was once again pleased that she'd given her daughter such a good present.
明日のこの時間には帰れるようにするわ。明日は一緒に夕食をとりましょう。マリアは夕食はまだよね。コンビニでお弁当買ってきて食べてね。お菓子はダメよ。ジュースもダメよ。お釣りと一緒にレシートも入れておくのよ。
サクタロとお買い物、サクタロとお買い物。
あ、こら、サクタロはダメよ。お留守番させなさい。
From Maria's manners of speech, Rosa got the feeling that Maria might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased and left her sourly, saying that Maria definitely mustn't do that. She hung up. Oh, Rosa, come on.
サクタロとお買い物ダメだってママに言われた。ウリュウ、マリアとお買い物に行けない。一人でお留守番、寂しい。なんでママ、サクタロとお買い物行っちゃダメなんて言うんだろう。ウリュウ、きっと僕がマリアと一緒にいるのを見られると恥ずかしいんだよ。恥ずかしい？なんで？ママはよく僕を外に連れて行っちゃいけないって言うし、マリアのことをよくもう何歳になったんだからダメとかそういう言い方をするし。マリアはサクタロと一緒で全然恥ずかしくないよ。僕はライオンだけどぬいぐるみだし。ライオンでぬいぐるみだけどマリアのお友達だよ。だから一緒にお出かけしよう。ママがいない時だけ内緒で。ひょっとしてサクタロも恥ずかしい？僕は恥ずかしくないけど、ウリュウ、ちょっとお外の人が怖い。そっか、じゃあサクタロが怖くなくて一緒にお出かけできるようにする。マリアに任せて。便利なのがあるの。
Maria started fishing around her messy room. Rosa often told her to clean up, but Maria apparently didn't like doing it. However, Maria herself knew more or less where everything was. So much so that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have trouble finding where anything was. Maria proudly held it up high. Sakutaro looked at the knapsack which was gaping open, squirming as though saying, "Are you serious?"
マリア、もしかして。これなら一緒にお買い物に行けるし、サクタロも怖くないよ。
Maria held Sakutaro up and started stuffing him into the knapsack. At first, she tried to stick him in head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she pulled him out and tried pushing him again feet first.
きつい、狭い、暗い、ほら、大丈夫だよ。頭を出せば狭くないし、暗くないから怖くないよ。景色もいいよ。ウリュウ、本当だ。これならマリアと一緒にお買い物に行っても大丈夫？大丈夫だよ。
Man, Sakutaro.
今日のお夕食は何がいいかな？
Is it the same voice actress as Maria as well?
さあ、お出かけしよう、サクタラ。マリアお姉ちゃん、楽しそう。とっても楽しい。
Guess Maria is also a witch.
一人だったら寂しくてつまらないことでも、サクタロが一緒なら何でも楽しい。どんな人間のお友達だって夕方になったらお家へ帰らなきゃならない。 でもサクタロは帰らないし、いつまでも一緒にいてくれる。一緒にテレビも見るし、お布団の中だって一緒だし、雷が怖い夜には手だって握っていてくれる。クローゼットやベッドの下のお化けだって追っ払ってくれるんだよ。サクタロ頼もしい。マリアを怖がらせるお化けは、僕、ライオンだから勇気を出して追い払っちゃうよ。ガオー。
Oh my god. They were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older now than Maria-oneechan was then. But Maria-oneechan really is my oneechan, and I still hadn't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakutaro.
マリアもサクタロもエンジェの身近なお友達だよ。いつもマリアたちはエンジェのすぐそばにいる。でもエンジェの魔法が弱いから、こうしてマリアの日記を開かないと知覚できないだけ。
What she's really saying is that your powers, your delusions are weak. Because she's reading her journal right now. It's not like she's speaking with Maria, right?
知覚？マリアお姉ちゃんは難しい言葉を知ってるね。
According to her, this world was full of magic and spirits, and they are as natural as and nearby as a light breeze.
風って普段は気にもしないし見えもしないけれど、お線香の煙とかがたなびくとそれを見ることができるんじゃない？
そうね。
Wait.
そしてそれは見えなくても普段から私たちの身近にあるものだわ。
そういうこと。マリアもサクタロもいつだってエンジェのすぐ近くで一緒なんだよ。神様や精霊、守護霊も私たちのすぐ身近にいるの。でも意識しないと存在を感じられない。目では見えない風のように。でもそれは確実に私たちの身近にあって、魔力という煙がたなびけば誰にだって見えるものなの。
I thought I'd only be able to meet Maria-oneechan while this diary was open. From what she says, she's always with me, and I can meet her anytime if I truly desire to.
マリアは自分の日記に日々の記録と一緒に自分の魂のかけらを残しておいたの。
Fragments?
だからこの日記にはマリアの魔法の力が宿ってるの。でもそれはとても微弱なもので、エンジェ以外の人には誰も感じ取れない。
私にだけはわかるの？うん。だ
ってエンジェはマリアと同じで魔女の力を宿しているもの。エンジェだってちゃんとお勉強すればきっと将来立派な魔女になれるんだよ。
Oh man.
魔女、それは楽しいのかしら？
うん、楽しいよ。そうすれば日記を開かなくてもマリアやサクタロがいつも身近にいるのがわかるようになり、そしたら毎日がとっても楽しくなる。そしたらエンジェにマリアは他にもたくさんのお友達を紹介できるよ。そしたら毎日が忙しくてとっても賑やかになるよ。
それは楽しいかもしれない。
Oh man.
マリアお姉ちゃんが残した魔導書も持ってるわ。今度真面目に読んでみるわね。そしたら私も一人ぼっちじゃなくなるかな。
Oh. Maria-oneechan and Sakutaro said that at the same time. At the same time, happy that I had developed an interest in the world of witches. Oh man. Oh, I feel so bad for her. With her knapsack on her back and half of Sakutaro's face peeking out of it, she triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. It was a time of day after all. Come on, Rosa, what are you doing? Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering their shutters on their shops or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. Amidst all that, Maria, who was quite in a good mood for someone on a hike, probably looked quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance at her back, with the eyes of someone seeing something out of place. Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of the knapsack. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which have been growing in popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. It was very convenient for Maria, whose mother's return was often late. So this is common. Maria lowered the knapsack from her back and carrying it like a child in her arms, she held over to the sweet buns corner. She pointed to a sweet bun she had eaten before, explaining to Sakutaro that this one was delicious. And that one was pretty good too. Sakutaro seemed to be enjoying it a lot.
マリアは3色パンにする。これ一つでね、あんことクリームといちごジャムが食べられるの。でもたまにウグイスあんだったり白あんだったりするの。あんこは1種類でいい。うりゅう。いろいろ入ってて面白そう。うりゅう。あとはマリアはフルーツヨーグルトにする。フルーツ入ってるけどお菓子じゃないよね。うん、きっとママも大丈夫。サクタロもどれか欲しい？うりゅう？いいの？お金は大丈夫？うん、全然平気。ほら、聖徳太子なの。だからサクタロにも好きなものを買ってあげられるよ。一緒に食べよう。サクタロもヨーグルト食べる？
Shotoktaishi. When Maria made to grab another one with the same fruit yogurt, Sakutaro bent his head slightly, worried.
うりゅう。でも、僕、大きいのは食べられないから小さいのでいい。おお、じゃあ、この小さいお菓子ヨーグルトは30円だね。安い。うりゅう。僕はそれでいい。マリアと一緒にヨーグルト。サクタロと一緒にヨーグルト。
Maria put the three-head colored bread and 2 yogurts into a shopping basket and brought them to the register. The man running that register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year.
お嬢ちゃん、この時間によく見かけるね。偉いけど、今度からこの時間のお買い物にはお母さんと一緒においでね。
ママがいいって言ったから大丈夫。ママはいつもお仕事で帰りが遅いけど、マリアたちは寂しくなんかないの。ね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
そっか、そりゃ大変だね。ほら、ジュースを1本おまけしてあげるよ。
The man working in the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register and packed it into the bag with everything else.
おじ
Ooh.
さん、ありがとう。
What did her mother say? Oh no.
よかったね、サクタロ。うりゅう。
Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home. So she decided to drink it on her way back and not bring the empty can back home. Smart! Yes! With a vino bag with a sweet bun in it around her elbow, holding the knapsack with Sakutaro on the same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home.
柚子胡椒ソーダって微妙。サクタロも飲んでみる？うりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅうりゅう。わあ、うりゅう。マリアひどい。まじゅい。だよね。
Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She put the can to Sakutaro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. But it was fun to see Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakutaro. There was a huge moon in the sky. At times that moon had been clouded by tears when she had been unmanageable during Rosa's overnight stays, and where she had been scolded by her mother. Ooh. But this moon was very warm, and it seemed to wash over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Maria and Sakutaro. Ange watched the two of them go from behind. She looked so warm from behind, and looking at the backs of Maria-oneechan and Sakutaro together, it became very hard to remember all those long nights when she cried because of her mother hadn't come home. I couldn't say it to Maria-oneechan, but if I'd been in the same position, I may have given a stuffed animal the name Sakutaro, but I wouldn't be able to but it wouldn't have been anything more or less than the stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship that only distracts you from your loneliness. Maria-oneechan was different. Sakutarou isn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness. He changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakutaro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother made it herself? Because it was very, very cute? Probably not. There's a secret here. It does not lie within Sakutaro. I think it probably lies within Maria-oneechan. Oh man.
これがマリアお姉ちゃんの言う魔法の力なの？
魔法を知るということは、今まですぐそばにいたのに気づけなかったたくさんの友達に気づけるということ。まるで新しいおもちゃ屋さんが近所にたくさんできるみたいに楽しいこと。
Even I locked up in an academy without a single friend, had power like Maria-oneechan. I wonder if I could make my days just a bit richer. Wonder if I'd be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying, to smile on great nights.
できるよ。エンジェはできる。だってエンジェにだって魔女になれる資格があるもん。
魔女になる資格？
マリアも魔女になれる資格あるんだよ。だからまだまだ勉強中の修行中なの。きっと素敵な魔女になってほうきでお空をかけてケーンで虹を描いて飴玉を空から降らせるの。マリアはきっとできるよ。そしたらエンジェにも見せてあげるね。きっとそれは素敵な夢の中のような光景だから。
Maria-oneechan said that, making an absolute promise with her smile. There's no way I can become a witch. If Maria-oneechan says that, it makes me feel that maybe I really can become a witch. Because in reality, on that desolate night, when no flower of a smile could possibly have bloomed, her magic surely gave birth to a smile.
魔女になれるかな？
なれるよ。エンジェは少し年齢を重ねちゃったから魂が少し重力に惹かれちゃってる。だからマリアよりも修行は大変かもしれないけど、でもきっとなれるよ。だってもうエンジェは魔法の一端に触れてるもの。
私が魔法？
だってほら、もうこの世にはいない私をこうして呼び出して語らっているよ。
これは魔法なの？
私が日記に残した魂のかけらをエンジェは魔法で膨らませて私を蘇らせてる。さっきも言ったよね。こうして私と再会して会話ができて時に笑顔を見せられるんだから、エンジェは魔法の才能がきっとあるんだよ。マリアお姉ちゃんが保証する。
お姉ちゃんはさっき言ったわ。私は日記を開いた時にしか会えないと思ってるけど、本当はいつも身近にいるって。私に魔法の力がもっとあれば、それを見て今こうしているようにお姉ちゃんと会話ができる？いつでも？
いつでもお話できるよ。朝のおはようの時だっていつもそばにいるし、授業中だってそばにいる。退屈な授業は私とお話しして気を紛らわせようよ。食事の時には話し相手になれるし、お昼休みだってこれまでのようにいつも一緒にいようよ。放課後だって一緒にいるし、もちろん寮に帰ってからだって私はいつもそばにいる。日記を広げた時にしか私を見てくれないだけ。
日記を閉じてもマリアお姉ちゃんは私のそばにいてくれるんだよね。
いるよ。だからエンジェが私を見ようとして、そして話そうとしてくれれば、私はきっと答えられるよ。
Without love, it cannot be seen, huh?
しっかりと見て話そうとしてくれれば。
私やってみる。
簡単じゃないよ。いきなり上手くなんてきっといかないよ。
The realist in me is just saying that this is just her delusions.
分かってる。
As she reads Maria's diary.
きっと簡単じゃないと思う。でも私、マリアお姉ちゃんみたいになりたい。
おお、わかった。じゃあ、私をよく見て。しっかり見て。うん。ゆっくり目を閉じたり開いたりして。いきなり長くつむっちゃダメ。私の姿を瞳に焼き付けては、それをまぶたの裏に染み込ませていくつもりで。
うん、やってる。
まぶたを閉じても私をイメージできるようになったら、そのままゆっくり柔らかく目を閉じていて。
I'm trying here. Visualizing Maria with my eyelids closed.
どう？まだ私が見えている？
うん、多分見えてると思う。
じゃあ一度目を開いて。いよいよ本番。心を落ち着けたら日記を閉じて。その時一度マリアの姿は消えてしまうかもしれない。でも焦らずに心を落ち着けて。そしてまぶたの裏に染み込ませた私を逆に瞳に染み込ませていくつもりで、ゆっくりと虚空に私をイメージして。私を虚空に見て。
Oh, man.
大丈夫。じゃあ閉じるね、日記。
おう。
Slowly I closed it. When I did so, a grey reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Maria-oneechan's form disappeared. Give all you got, have courage. Take the first step into the world of witches. It felt like Maria-oneechan was cheering me on inside my heart. She's cheering me on? Really? Or do I just think that she is? No, that's wrong. It's because I think that I cannot see her. I think like this, I cannot see her. Maria-oneechan is always by my side, and even now, she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. That reached my ears, so I mustn't ignore it like it's my imagination or the voice of my own heart. I believe that Maria-oneechan is there. Mustn't doubt, believe. One-chan said that she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. Looking at the empty space by the empty back of the wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartless, boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that had clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper, overlooking a sea of lights. It's Maria-oneechan saying it. It's alright, she's saying I'm someone who can do it. Stop thinking that you might fall, or that it's foolish to take a step off a roof, and free yourself from those chains of common sense. I steady my breathing, I concentrate in my mind. Make the vivid form of Maria-oneechan in the empty space before you rise to the surface, understand magic, and see Maria-oneechan. Ooh, the wind.
Maria-oneechan. 誰かいるの?
At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry, and I came to my senses, because I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No, since I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of 3 beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place. Because if I became known that I've been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it'd become a pain again.
言ったよね。言ったよね。マリアお姉ちゃんとか言ったよね。やばくない？心霊とか見えちゃってんじゃないの？後ろ宮さんって面白い。
Just fucking punch them in their faces. Could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria-oneechan had been made fun of, I left that place at a quick pace, and then a jog once I turned around the corner. I might have made it to our nation's world just with a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone keep getting in my way? I hadn't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be difficult. Okay, no more time jumps for today, please. Oh my god, so many flash forwards, flashbacks, oh my god.
噂じゃ、エンジェちゃん。
Not this. You. I mean, not the same voice actor, but quite similar in appearance. Oh my god. Okay, let's rate the characters that appeared. Ange, S rank, yes. Fucking S rank. So good. Beatrice is still an S rank plus. Bern Castell, S rank plus. Yes. Lambda Delta, top of S rank. Shermia Maria, tied with Battler again. She was really good this chapter. Battler with his antics, yes, good. Let's see other characters. I'd say still Shermia Eva is still an S rank. After being repeatedly hospitalized from psychogenic stress, she's already dead in the world of 1998 due to acute heart failure. The only survivor from Rokkenjima, she lived her later years in isolation with no one to understand her. The media gave her the name Queen of Suspicion. She continued on a path of reckless expansion like Kinzo had done in the past and had made many enemies. In her later years, she seemed to do this repeatedly, as if she found it funny. And that point, it was no longer for economic reasons, but simply to harass. And all of this was for the sake of Ange, who would eventually succeed her. Threw herself on top of the skyscraper. Oh, not reading that. Not reading that. So... oh man. This is gonna be a complicated chapter, I can already feel it. Thanks for watching.